So you've probably heard about the new fishing update in Entropia. But the big question is it actually easier or harder than Next Island fishing? And more importantly, what really sets these two systems apart? Before we get into it, let me give you a little bit of background on Next Island's fishing. Before Entropia introduced its fishing system, Next Island already had fishing in place. Their system didn't require a rework of in-game mechanics, but cleverly used a mission system to add a layer of randomness, in hopes that in the future they could develop this within a skill-based system. This happened before their contract ended, so they never got to develop this in the new system. So now we have two very different approaches to fishing, but which one is easier and what makes them so different? So let's break it down in this video together. So how do I start fishing? Well, what we first need to understand is that Next Island fishing and Entropia both use different fishing rods. Next Island, you will need to use the bamboo fishing pole, which is a crafted item, whereas the Entropia fishing, you will need 5 different items to combine into a fishing rod. However, unlike Next Island, you can get a free limited rod from Satesh to start your journey, or a bait fishing rod from Port Atlantis, which is a free-to-play option. So how are these different from each other? Let's take a deeper dive into both systems. I will start with the NI fishing. This system was added back in 2023, and it was using a mission-based RNG system that they could create the illusion of fishing within the confines of what they could work with. To start this fishing, you will need a fishing pole, bronze ticket, or papu tails. The pole can be crafted from a blueprint you can get for 7 gold tickets. I would recommend getting the non-customizable version of this, as it is the same thing, but it's cheaper to craft. It's important to follow the instructions given to you by the terminal, as it is an item check for this mission. Once you're in the area, you can also unequip the rod. This is something that I want to talk about, as you can actually combine this with bait fishing. So you can do your free-to-play fishing with Entropia and do this mission at the same time. On the Next Island one, there is a timer of up to 5 minutes and there are 9 different outcomes. 4 of these are your fish. The other outcomes are as followed. You can get the classic Wellington boot for either male or female. This can actually be worn, or you can do what I like to do and fill up the TT and recycle them. You can also get a pointless bumper car. You can also loot back a bronze ticket or nothing at all. Each chance is an outcome determined at the end of the mission, and yes, it is a mission. There is also ancient Greece fishing. This one you will have to go over to Thebes in ancient Greece and go over to this flower port called Trireme. Once you're there, you can talk to this NPC and hand him 8 papu tails. You can then head over to the fishing spot. This one is a 10-minute timer, so you'll have to wait 10 minutes to either see if you've caught a fish or not caught a fish. But you can also double up with the bait fishing, and at the moment, only bait fishing works in ancient Greece. I'm hoping it's just a bug and they will get it fixed at some point so that you can do other types of fishing here. But at the moment, keep in mind that it is just bait fishing. However, unlike Next Island fishing, ancient Greece fishing only has 3 outcomes. You can either catch a fish or not catch a fish. So what can I use these fish for? Well, for the ones on Next Island, you can trade them in for various rewards, but there are some unique ones like skills and buffs. Keep in mind though that the buffs aren't physical items and they will start as soon as you take them. There are 2 missions you can do, one for ancient Greece fish, which you will have to catch 10 ancient Greece fish. The other one is to catch 50 fish. The 50 fish one works for ancient Greece fish as well as Next Island fish. The ancient Greece fishing one will give you a knot token as the reward. The Next Island one will give you a choice of skill rewards. The ancient Greece fish are also used for one blueprint called the customizable picket fence. This is also used as a daily mission for knot tokens. So people are looking to buy these ancient Greece fish. They were going to expand the amount of things that could be used for the fish, but they ran out of time to do this. But what if I want to do this without paying a bronze ticket or papu tails? Well, there are 2 poaching areas, one on Next Island and one in ancient Greece, but these areas will still need the bamboo fishing pole. They work the same as the other missions where you just approach with the pole equipped. Once you're in the area, you can unequip the pole, which also means that it works for the Entropia fishing. On Next Island, you can do normal Entropia fishing, whereas in ancient Greece, you can only do bait fishing at the moment. These poaching spots have a 50-50 outcome of either catching a fish or death. And you can only catch one type of either ancient Greece fish or Next Island fish in each location. So you may have heard me mentioning normal Entropia fishing and bait fishing. So let's dive in to the world of the Entropia fishing system. Keep in mind, this system is still new and I'm still learning all of the ins and outs myself, but let's start with the rod types. You will have 4 different types of rod. You'll have your fly fishing rod, your angular rod, your deep sea ocean fishing rod, and your cast fishing rod. All of these are going to have different ways of doing the mini game. I would recommend starting with your angular rod and then looking into the other types later on. What we first want to do is we want to go grab our Satesh fishing rod. This is going to give you a free starting point for fishing. The NPC next to this grill is going to give us a mission to go find a person that's going to give us our first fishing rod. This guy is then going to give us the 5 different attachments for the fishing rod. I know it's going to look very confusing, but we're going to sit and get through this. So firstly, you will have your fishing rod, which is the thing that we're going to attach everything to. If you try to attach something to the other things, it's not going to work. Your fishing rod is going to be like our gun with the attachments on top of it. And it's not going to matter which order we attach these items in, as long as all 5 items are attached together. So what we're going to do is to the rod, we're going to attach the fishing line, the blank, the fishing reel, and the lure. We need all 5 of these attached for the rod to work. Once we have done that, we're going to approach any body of water. This will then allow us to cast out our fishing line. It's going to be set to E as default, but you can change this by remapping it. Once we have managed to hook a fish, we can then press E to then reel it in. It will then start this mini game. This will differ on the different rods, but at the moment we're only focusing on the angular rods. This one, we'll just need to keep the fish within the red square. It doesn't matter which part of the fish is in the square, as long as it's within that, it's going to start reeling the fish in. Once you have successfully done the mini game, depending on which area you're in, it's going to catch a different kind of fish. There are 4 different kinds of locations to catch fish. I'm going to class these as shore fish, river fish, lake fish, and open sea fish. Open sea fish you can only catch with a deep sea fishing rod and on a boat. Each location will also have different fish depending on what time of day it is in the game. So whether it's daytime in the game or nighttime in the game, you're going to catch different kinds of fish. Lures are also going to be very important on which types of fish you're going to catch as well. So keep in mind that different fish can only be caught with certain types of lure. At the moment, there are only 9 kinds of fish that we can fish on Next Island, according to Entropia Nexus. So there are 3 in the lake, 3 in the river, and 3 on the shore. At the moment, it is a bug, so I'm hoping they do fix this. Each fish is going to have its own codex type depending on what kind of fish it is. So you will have several different types of codex that will work with this fishing. This also has its own meta codex as well. The bait fishing, however, does not work for codex, but you will still get skills for bait fishing. The bait fishing is your kind of free-to-play way of doing the fishing, and you can get the bait fishing rod from Port Atlantis. The bait fishing is going to become really important to other players as well as yourself if you want to do free-to-play fishing. One use for bait fish is you can refine them with universal ammo to make spool cells. The spool cells will be used with the other fishing rod to catch a fish. You will not be able to catch any fish without spool cells. That's all well and good, but now that we've caught these fish, what are we going to do with them? Well, they have also added a new system called cooking. The cooking system is going to be what is replacing all buffs in the game, which is a complete game-changing thing. So how am I going to start cooking? Well, firstly, we need to refine some of these fish into their respective oils. So what we're going to do is place the fish and the fish scraps into a refiner to get the specific oils of each type of fish. For example, these blue snappers will turn into cod oil. As you can see, some of these recipes use just fish oil. So how are we going to get fish oil if we've got cod oil? Well, we're going to put the cod oil back into the refiner and make it into fish oil. This will then allow us to do some of the basic recipes to start cooking. Some recipes require different kinds of oils, as well as other types of materials, so you'll have to look at each recipe and decide what items that you need for these cooking things. I don't know everything about cooking, and I have not discovered all the blueprints that I need to just make the basic cooking that you get from this terminal. This terminal will hold the basic blueprints for fishing equipment and cooking, but you can also get different blueprints from these AI NPCs. What I found with these NPCs is one will always seem to give you cooking recipes, whereas the other one will give you fishing equipment blueprints. Now, coming back to our main question, which one is easier? And which one would I recommend you do? Well, I would actually say that the Next Island one is easier to do because you don't have extra steps that are involved in doing that mission. Whereas I would recommend you doing both of these together, and then you get the best of both of them. If you have enjoyed this video and you want to see more like this in the future, remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.